Watch Dogs 1 is one of those games that becomes more interesting the deeper you look at the world behind the missions. And one of the most overlooked aspects is how Chicago itself functions as a character. One shaped, controlled, and practically weaponized by ctOS. When you go back and replay the game, you start to notice just how much the story isn't only about Aiden Pierce's revenge, but about a city that has already surrendered its privacy, its autonomy, and its sense of safety, long before Aiden ever picks up a smartphone. The brilliance of Watch Dogs. One lies in how it blends personal stakes with systemic corruption, showing you a world where every camera, every phone call, every streetlight is silently feeding into a network designed to watch everyone and hold them hostage without them even realizing. Aiden himself is a reflection of that system. He's not a traditional hero. He's more like a product of the very surveillance state he fights. What makes his character so compelling is the fact that he genuinely believes he's doing the right thing, bringing justice to those who wronged his family. Yet nearly everything he does fuels a cycle of violence. His obsession with control mirrors, ctOS's obsession with control, and the game subtly reinforces this through gameplay. You use the city to manipulate enemies, solve problems, and track people, just like the system does. Watch Dogs blurs the line between protector and intruder, making you question whether Aiden is any better than the forces he opposes. And the game doesn't shy away from showing the collateral damage of that mindset. Clara Lil, for example, is caught between her loyalty to Aiden and her guilt for her role in the breach that set everything into motion. Her story is a reminder that in a world full of secrets, even those with good intentions can end up destroying the people they care about. But one of the most fascinating parts of Watch Dogs 1 is how the game uses its factions to illustrate the different ways people react to a society built on surveillance and corporate power. Take DedSec. Here, they're not the colorful hacking collective seen in Watch Dogs 2. They're more mysterious, more paranoid, and more morally ambiguous. They see Aiden as a tool, not a partner, and the game frequently hints that their agenda isn't as righteous as they want the public to believe. Meanwhile, groups like the Militia, the Fixers, and the Bloom Corporation show how power gets distributed in a city where technology is currency. Bloom uses ctOS to influence everything from policing to infrastructure. Jordy Chin, on the other hand, is a perfect representation of how people take advantage of the chaos behind the scenes, profit over principle. And then there's Damian Brinks, a villain who isn't physically intimidating, but emotionally manipulative and deeply tied to Aiden's past. He becomes the human embodiment of the consequences of Aiden's actions, representing the domino effect that starts when someone believes they can control everything. Chicago itself reinforces these themes through its atmosphere. The city feels cold, slick, and drenched in surveillance. Even simple activities, like profiling passersby, remind you that everyone's information is constantly exposed. You learn about people's debts, illnesses, secrets, and private struggles, all through a quick scan. It's invasive, and the game wants you to feel that discomfort.